Alright. How is everyone doing? Hope you're all doing well. I'm doing well, thanks for asking. I'm playing some NCAA Football 10. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get this party started. I want to make sure everyone has at least played a game. I know the stats won't show up for, like, the linemen, so... unless they, like, the lineman stats won't actually show up for every person, so... For every lineman, depending on if they have a block or not. So it's Thurman played. Thurman has played. So that is all our quarterbacks. Let's take a look at the running backs. Um, so far so good. Benson was last one, but yeah, we redshirted Deloach, so means everyone else has actually played. So we're gonna go to fullbacks now. Elliott has played. He's the only fullback in our roster. Actually, yeah, it looks to be. So what about wide receiver? So Arnold, who's a junior, has played. Gene, who's a senior, has Rodriguez, who's a sophomore, second year. Wallace, also a sophomore, has played. A junior, Shelton Walker, has played. So Woods is the last one. What about Hall? Hall is a redshirt, so he's not playing. That means he is the only wide receiver that has to play, but he can't play because he's a redshirt. Jackson is one catch. So Lewis, Livingston, and Jackson. So I'm going to skip the linemen because, they may have played, but their stats won't show up. So Paul has played, Meyer has played. Any other left ends? So you have Chris Johnston, who has actually played. Paul Meyer, Johnston, actually. Any other left ends? No. What about right ends? So we have Scott, who has not played. Benson has not played. Three right ends, and then you have Joyce, who has played. So we're gonna have Joyce as the third string right end. Defensive tackles, you have Morgan, who has not played. Tatum has. What about Green? Scott's a red shirt. Crooks has played. So, any other defensive tackle we have? No. So, we're going to move actually Meyer with Crooks now. Now for left outside linebacker, Moss has played. Merrill has played. Oh, he has one pass deflection. What about Suggs? Suggs has played. Do we have any other linebacker? Dunn was a red shirt. No other left outside linebackers. It looks like we're gonna actually start Merrill to help him. We have Wilson, who's not played. Anthony Davis, who has. Johnny Carr has. And then any other middle linebackers? No. About right outside linebacker. Actually, Blaylock, who's not played. Brown has some stats. Looks like Johnson has. They don't show the games played, but I'm going based off of the stats they have. After Johnson, we have Brown, who has played. Already covered Blaylock, so. I know the offensive linemen are the only ones who can play the entire season and not have their stats show up. So outside of Simmons, nope. All of our cornerbacks are played. Jones and Anderson have played. Do we have any other free safeties on our roster? We do not. So what about Thomas and Dixon? So we're gonna actually switch Dixon and Thomas. Have Dixon start at strong safety. What about Bonner? Bonner has played, but we're gonna have him as the third string strong safety. Cade is 3 for 3. Yeah, we can have Cade start for Banks. And then we have Cade on kickoffs as well. Our second game should be against USC. Alright. Let's go ahead and get this party started. Did the game freeze though? No, it did not. That's good. So I've been to Oklahoma, but I've never been to the campus of Oklahoma State. And I've been to LA, but I've never been to the campus of USC or where either team plays. I know USC plays at the Rose Bowl. I've been to the it's now called I think it's now called Crypto.com arena, but at the time it was known as the Staples Center in Los Angeles, and that's where I've been. That's the only sporting event I've seen in LA. So don't know the current name of the Oklahoma City Thunder arena where they play at, but I've seen a Oklahoma City Thunder NBA game there. And yeah, I think it was the Chesapeake Arena at the time. I think, I'm not entirely sure. It was in 2017 when I went. So, if anyone knows the name of the arena, let me know. Let me know in the comment section if you're watching this on YouTube. We cannot stop them on third down. I've been to the Santiago Bernabeu though to see a La Liga game, That was in the stadium's in Spain. It's in Madrid. Real Madrid played Osasuna, and I believe Real Madrid won 2-0. So that was very cool to see, actually. And the only other European stadium I've been inside two other European stadiums. What the stadium where Chelsea FC played, but I didn't see a game there, and it was just like a store or not a store. It was a tour of the stadium. I combined the word stadium and tour and store. So, so and then I actually saw an AEW pay per view at Wembley Stadium. I was there at the first AEW pay per view event. Excuse me for coughing. A video of it on my channel. It was the very first AEW All In at Wembley Stadium. It's actually CM Punk's final match for the company. I didn't know it at the time because I was like in the stands, like in the bleacher seats, like very, very far back. But CM Punk, right before his match, I got into a fight with Jack Perry. So that was, more in the backstage area, which of course fans are not allowed to go to. So let's do 689 a hook. Ah, shoot. Well, let's go for it. Just this one time. So, do we have any freshmen wide receivers that aren't red shirts? No, we do not. So we should be able to convert it. Let's do quick slants. So, it's the only pay-per-view event I've ever attended for a professional wrestling. Wonder, can we make some formation subs? No, we cannot. Into the Simmons Bank Arena in North Little Rock, Arkansas, and the FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee, and the Jack Stevens Center in Little Rock as well. And a bunch of other stadiums as well. Rodriguez is a wide receiver then, so I don't know why I thought he was a tight end. Ooh, dang it, that's intercepted. That's gonna be nope, it's not gonna be returned, thankfully. That was just a bad pass. That was just a bad pass on my part. I wanted to run for a first down there, but obviously I couldn't, so. Oh, that was a bad tackle. Speaking of bad passes, so. Gonna be down 14 to nothing next, so. So if we don't, stop them. Let's do zone blitz, actually. Let's send some extra men to help stop the run. They're not gonna run, they're gonna punt actually now. So let's do punt block actually. Okay, never mind, we're not gonna do that, so. But at least we know we can stop USC. The number 3 team in the nation at the time of this game. Oklahoma State's number 6. We're in week 2 of my dynasty mode, by the way. Ah, shoot. So. As Rodriguez caught it there, that's good. Let's do play action read. I believe this was for the 2009 season, actually. Oh, incomplete, so. Big punt run, actually. The heck? The heck was that, actually? I did not. What happened there? That is messed up because I did not intentionally do that. Fumble. Well. Oh, shoot. Well, next time we're not going to fake punt it. If on 4th down, but hopefully we'll have a lead there. Hopefully we'll have a big lead, Game stats, player stats. Who lost yards on the run? It's Holly, so he didn't lose any yards. He got tackled at the line of scrimmage. So. It's going to be 3rd and 1 now, so let's do strong. And then, let's do a halfback dive. Do X post now, so. Let's do Z spot. EA Sports College Football 26 is coming out this year. I cannot wait for it because I liked EA Sports College Football 25. It's just it wasn't, I have some complaints because it wasn't very balanced. The gameplay wasn't balanced. I feel like if you're playing on the easiest difficulty, it's incredibly easy. But any other difficulty, then I tend to struggle with. So 4th and 2. I know I said I wouldn't go for it, but shouldn't have made that pass. I should have ran for it. So I did not have enough time to get a comfortable throw off. So yeah, I feel like if you're playing on the easy mode for EA Sports College Football 25, it's incredibly easy to the point where it's not fun. But if you play it on any other difficulty, then it tends to be a bit more tough than it should be. But that's just my experience. And then again, I'm not the best at video games, so I will say if you want to if you want to play a game, if you want to get an experience of what a game is like, definitely don't listen to what I say. Definitely play the game and form your own opinion on it. So I should not be, as we pass to Gene, I should not be the end all be all for any opinions on whether a game is good or not. I don't think any single person should be actually, because in terms of gaming for people that enjoy video games, we all like different kinds of games. I enjoy sports games and I enjoy racing games. Not everyone enjoys sports or racing games though. And that's fine. I'm not gonna hate on anyone for, if not liking sports or racing games, or if they struggle at a game that I'm good at. I'm not gonna knock them for that, because there are games I tend to struggle with. I'm sure other people would be good at it. I'm sure there are people out there that play sports college football 25 that can play on the hardest difficulty and dominate on it. I know I'm not one of those people. I'll admit that I'm not one of those people. I mainly play sports games to relax, so like sack, sack, thankfully. Sports and racing games, actually. I do like some story mode games though. Games with a good story, I must say. Definitely recommend if anyone's heard of this game, Dordogne. And it's made by a French company. It's a very good game actually. Highly recommend it. And then there's two games, Deliver Us Mars, and its predecessor, Deliver Us the Moon. Those are two games that I really enjoyed. I think they're made by a Dutch company. I think the company is either Dutch or Belgian. But either way, it's a good series of games. Play definitely to get the best, to get the full understanding of the story. I definitely recommend starting with Deliver Us the Moon, because that's the first game that came out. Deliver Us Mars takes place after. So, and then Telltale's Walking Dead series is good as well, and Telltale's Batman. I enjoyed for the most part the Life is Strange series. I played all the games in that series, so though that's for the most part those games have um a good story. The Life is Strange. see something. All right, yeah, we threw to get rid of that, so still have that plunge. What other games do I played? I've enjoyed. Oh, this is a sports game, a soccer game called UFL. I played it on my channel, I think, a couple of times. Streamed it on Twitch as well. It's a good game. It's free to play on, I know, on the Xbox Series S. So if you have that, I know for a fact it's on that. You can notice something really quick. So I would like to play it again when I get more space, cause um for my I have to move some games off of it, my Series S. So um it's good. It feels like it's missing a couple of modes, but I know the developers are actually, it's not pay to win, which is good. I like. I like that. But it does feel like it's missing a couple of modes. And to be fair to the people that made the game, Matthews come in for Irvin. To be fair to the people that made the game, it's their first soccer game, so they probably want to make sure the game is playable and not pay to win, which I always respect companies nowadays that don't make their games pay to win. So, I know companies nowadays tend to have a lot of pay to win games, and I um, understand why they have pay to win games. Well, I understand, you know, from a business aspect that they have to make money, but pay to win is kind of insulting to the players that don't want to pay to win the game, regardless of the, you know, game. Sure, those of you at home watching can think of some good examples of games that are pay to win. I'm okay with. I know some people are not okay with microtransactions. I'm okay with. I'm one of those people that's okay with microtransactions, as long as it's not for stuff you can get in game, or if it's pay to win type stuff. If it's cosmetic items you can't unlock in the game, be my guest to put them in the game. I'm okay with that. I may not spend my money on it, but I'm okay with companies doing the non-pay to win microtransactions, or if they have stuff, or if they didn't have enough time, whether the developers working on the game didn't have enough time to put in stuff they wanted for the game, and the studios or the people in charge wanted the game out by a certain time. They just didn't have enough time to actually put it out. You know, I can. That's understandable in my opinion. But the pay to win stuff is no. That's just it puts. I'll still enjoy the game. I just won't pay to win. But it's just it. I say I'll still enjoy the game, but there are times when I won't enjoy it. But it's not going to be like those pay to win games aren't going to be my like games I'm going to recommend though. So let's put in Elliott back in as a starter, so that way Holly now has some rushing yards, positive rushing yards actually. So I'm not against the microtransactions, but I'm not against. I am against pay to win. Ooh, our pass was deflected there. So let's do. How about Z spot? All right, we'll convert. Let's not risk further injury for Holly. Let's just put him on the bench for now. So I always do that. So unless on them to get, unless they lost yards on a play. Oh yeah, unless they lost yards on a play, I'll always bench them. Then I'll just gain the yards back and then have them. Yeah. Oh no, not a fumble. Okay, let's challenge that. Let's challenge that because that looked strategy. Let's challenge that. Let's challenge the fumble. His knee looked down to me. Yes, I think his knee was down. I think we're gonna win that challenge. No, what? We didn't win that challenge? Oh, come on, referees. You need glasses. And yes, I'm aware I'm saying that with glasses on my face. They need glasses because his knee was down. I know I'm biased, but. Gonna drink some of my Pepsi Wild Cherry Zero Sugar. Actually, that was messed up. He was definitely on the ground. His knee was on the ground when. But once again, our defense bailed us out. The defense bailed us out on my awful. After my awful offensive play. So. Let's call an audible and run. I actually hand it off to Matthews. Ah, shoot. To angles. We pass to Elliott, the fullback. And then China special. Remember an interview on SportsCenter a few years ago? There's a player from China who played for Arizona State. and he actually made an important tackle for Arizona State University's football team, American football team. So that's kind of cool. I don't remember the situation, but I do remember he actually made an important tackle. So for the team, so that was very cool to see. Someone from China playing American football. It's also cool to see people from other countries playing American football because I know American football is not that popular compared to other sports in other countries. So compared to America. As Matthews scored there. So I know like soccer's not the most popular sport, but contrary to what some people would have you think, it's actually growing a lot here in the U.S. It's soccer culture isn't as big here as it is in other countries like in Europe, like in other places like I know in continents like Europe and countries like Argentina and Brazil. But it is growing here, and there is a culture, especially if you know where to find it. You know, especially in the bigger cities, but it is growing here. So rugby, more specifically rugby union, is growing here as well. Now rugby union isn't as big as um, the U.S. Soccer, but it is growing here. So if you're interested in rugby, you know that there are some people that enjoy rugby in the U.S. Some soccer it's been growing in the last 10 to 15 years, whereas I'd say rugby's kind of been started to grow within the past 5 years since like 2019, 2018. Whereas starting in the mid 2000s with like David Beckham and Thierry Henry, soccer started growing. The mid 2000s decade, not the century. So yeah, it's I know baseball is popular here. American football is popular here. I know I call it American football because there are technically multiple sports with the name football in them. If you want to use the proper name, like soccer, as I call it, is known as football in other countries. And then you have Australian rules football. You have arena football, which is a smaller, condensed version of American football. And then you have Canadian football as well. And then rugby, if you want to use its full name, it has football in it as well. So I know I'd like to see Canadian football grow in popularity as well. No, I know the NFL does a good job growing Canadian football or American football in London because I know it's gained some popularity in the past couple of years. When I was talking to some of my English friends, so I mean they still have some work to do, but it's I don't think it'll be as popular as soccer or rugby, but I definitely know it's grown in popularity there. It's like soccer here in the U.S. It's not a big culture, but it is grown in popularity. So I think you much quicker see soccer become its own culture here, which I know there's a stereotype that Americans aren't interested in soccer, but we do have the best women's team in the world. Not sure if they're ranked number one at the time of this live stream. It's 2:34 p.m. March 3rd, 2025, but I know the American women's soccer team has won I think the most World Cups at the time of this live stream. So the men's team, on the other hand, you know, on the other hand, we'd probably not. We majority of the time we probably only qualify just because we have the resources to fund a good soccer team. But other than that, chances are if we didn't have the resources, we probably wouldn't be that good at soccer. So we've lost. I know we've lost games to much smaller nations that don't have as much resources and finances to invest into the national soccer team. So shoot, we're gonna have to punt. That's a bad punt. But I know the best. I criticize the American soccer team, but the worst American soccer player on the national squad is closer to Pele's skill than I am to the worst. Than my skill is the worst national soccer team player. So their skill level is closer to Pele than I am to them as USC scores. Played soccer as a kid, like when I was 8 or 9, but I stopped. But I kind of wish, now that I'm older, I wish I didn't. I would have loved to have been a goalie though. If I were to pick it up again, I'd love to be a goalie. I don't. I'm not physically fit enough to like be any other position, but even if I was, I'd still love to be a goalie. In basketball, I would be a point guard, which I don't mind, just because of my height. When I did play basketball, I was I just because I was always the tallest kid. I when I did play, I was more of a power forward or center, but I was actually, I didn't play on an official team in high school, but I did play a lot in gym class, and I got really good at shooting. So never played baseball. I was kind of wish I did, but I'd love to be like a. That's the only sport where actually, in terms of playing, that is probably that and American football is the only sport I prefer playing defense as opposed to offense. Because defense, I'd love to be like a knuckleball pitcher if I ever played baseball. And then I'd love to have been a on. I did play American football for 2 years. I was a left tackle in high school, and I played one game for a couple of plays at kickoff return, and the high school level, and then I was mainly defensive tackle, and I love playing defense. I played 1 year in the 7th grade and 1 year in the ninth grade, but I was on the junior varsity and varsity squad because had attended a small school that didn't have enough players on the varsity squad. So we're gonna have to kick a field goal. Nope. Yes. Didn't think we would actually make the pass, but we did. So I'm gonna try and prevent U or U. I know I said UCLA, but it's USC. I'm going to try and play prevent US from scoring. I know I said I know goalie. I just realized that when I said I love to play goalie, that's defense as well. So I did not realize that at the time. Oh man, they returned the kickoff. So, but I guess now I'm gonna try and go for the 2-point conversion to finish my other train of thought. Basketball, I always prefer to offense as opposed to defense. If Livingston actually manages to catch it there. Now we pass it to Wallace. So. Those of you that played sports, what sports did you play and what positions as well? Still half or play action dig actually. Played soccer. I don't remember what position I played. I played basketball and American football and did wrestling for a little while. It's a good thing the cornerback actually, or safety actually moved because, if I had thrown that, I would have actually, been intercepted. So there we go. We got a touchdown. Ah, I should have went for the 2-point conversion as well. I just realized I didn't because I know I'm having trouble stopping USC on defense. Benson got a tackle, so I'm gonna actually take him out. Give him a breather. If there's an offense or I think all of my offensive players have actually gone stat at their respective position. But if defensive player has the next game, I will. I'm not including the tackles or not the tackles, the linemen in that, just because as I mentioned earlier, you can play a lineman in every game, for the entire season, and it is possible that they won't record a stat. So it's of all the positions, they're the most likely not to have a stat show up, other than games played. So and that isn't oh, they reversed that, but they don't reverse my call when I challenged it. But the quarterbacks, and every quarterback that plays is likely to at least throw a pass in one game. Every running back is likely to get at least, every running back that plays is likely going to get a reception or rushing yard. Football, and every receiver over the course of the season is likely going to get a. Every receiver that plays and every running back that plays is likely going to get one stat in their respective positions. So whether it's a rushing yard or reception. We are going to run. See if I can pass to Whitaker. Nope. Incomplete. We are, however, going to give it to our fullback, Elliott. Should be his longest run. If that is that his longest run of the season, actually. No, I doubt it's 12 yards. So what's now his longest run of the game? Is 6. So yeah, that's not going to be his longest run of the season. Is Irvin starting again? Is he back at the number? Back one? No. So let's put Irvin back in. I do want to see if he has caught a pass. No. What about Childress? Childress. He has caught a pass. I know Matthews has because he has this game. Benson has not, so we're gonna have him replace Johnson, and Deloach are redshirting. So dropped pass by Whitaker. Let's do slot drag. 2nd and 10. I've been to several football games in my life. I've been to several high school football games. As we are intercepted there, unfortunately. Been to I've been to, let's see, I've been to two NFL games, one in Dallas, one in Houston. I remember Dallas played Washington, and then Houston played New York, yeah, the New York Jets. And then in into two college football games, three college football games, two FBS, one FCS. That was my fault there. So I hit the wrong button. So the FCS was Southern Utah versus Central Arkansas. That was in Central Arkansas, and then the other was the two FBS was actually Duke versus North Carolina State, and hold on, let me just choose a play, and then it was let's see, Arkansas State played. I don't remember who they played, but that was a couple of years ago. Benson now has a pass. Now has a reception. I'm gonna go for the 2 point conversion. Actually, next time we score a touchdown. Not that we're losing. The interception wasn't intentional, but the thing, my line of thinking is I'd like to take the lead if we're ever losing off of a 2 point conversion. So as Rodriguez suffered a big hit there. Is Irvin injured? Yes, he's out for the rest of the game. So made the wrong decision there. I thought it was pass. Let's do full wide receiver. I'm gonna call drive. So hopefully we can pass to someone that is open. So worried he'd get hit and the ball would get knocked out and it would be fourth down, but thankfully that did not happen. We got hit on that play, so shoot. They're blitzing, so let's do verticals there. That's converted to just under 50% for third down. Shoot, we're gonna have to kick a field goal. Dang it. Too far to the left. And we gave up the reception, unfortunately. Is Kate a freshman? No, he's a sophomore. Okay, so we're gonna have Banks in as the kicker now. Excuse me. Oh, dang it, we're so close to a sack and fumble. That was just bad blocking by the USC lineman. Call a fair catch there, so suffer a big hit if. Once again, the defense bailed me out. Let's do corner strike. Oh, I should have just kept on running. I really should have just kept on running because I had an open way for a first down. Do a halfback sweep. Just fool them because have them think we're gonna pass like we usually do in shotgun formation. Instead, we're gonna run with Benson. And then this time, we're gonna run it, but in the opposite direction. Run a different play in the. Tight end corner now that we got off two big run plays. Oh, well, at least it wasn't intercepted though. 494 F flat. It's gonna be the name of the play. Shoot, we were intercepted there. Switch sides actually and just give up safety. I'm starting to get a bit frustrated with the way I'm playing on offense. I'm a freshman quarterback after this. Freshman wide receiver as well. Are you kidding me? I didn't even throw it. What the heck? Safety, finally. Some switch sides. Make sure I actually give up the safety first. Let's do the China special. So we're down by 5 now. So score will be up by 1. Then I'll go for the 2-point conversion. Be up by 3. Are you? I need to change the difficulty as well. Because there's no way. Yeah. For sure, I'm going to make sure I don't hit any buttons this time. I can win these games on the varsity difficulty. I just gotta play better. There we go. Maybe not go for the 2 point conversion next time. Maybe. Maybe I won't. Drinks my lemon lime zero sugar Sprite. Nearly intercepted by a defensive lineman. That would have been a rare play. There we go. We passed the Gene. Now, out of curiosity, as for some wide receivers, we don't have any freshmen that aren't. I do believe we have some sophomores, though. We don't have any freshmen that are. Eligible to play. So Wood says Woodcock. Yes, yes. Oh, we overthrew that. Let's do curls now. So I can win on the varsity level. I just need to make better decisions, though. Touchdown, Oklahoma State. So we're gonna go for the 2 point conversion, and we can actually run it in. 5 point game now. Let me adjust the way I'm sitting really quick. 4 deep quarters. It's the Oh, I like playing American football video games, and I know I played 2 seasons worth, or technically a season and a half, but excuse me. Oh, excuse me. I really wish we could actually do formation subs. Let's have Thurman come in now, because our quarterback's a little injured, and I want him to play a little bit of defense. He's a two-way player. Kind of like Travis Hunter of Colorado, who's pretty sure entering the draft. He's going to be a high draft pick. You don't see two-way players in the NFL anymore. Um, So, back in the old days, so maybe it's like the 40s or 50s, you would see just two-way players, like what they call the one platoon system, where you'd have people playing offense and defense. Now the only types of two-way players you really see are like special teams, and whether depending on the position, offense or defense. But the special teams players rarely will actually play on offense or defense. Desmond Howard's the only person that primarily played special teams that won a Super Bowl MVP. Back in the 90s, I believe. 90s, early 2000s. I know that two-way players are now rare in baseball. I mean, technically, you could consider pitchers two-way players if they play in the National League up until like 2020, except from the 2020 season, and then 2021. Just because they would hit and bat, but most pitchers weren't very good hitters. So, that's why they rarely, but it wasn't like Babe Ruth was like the first one that would dominate on both ends, that could dominate as a pitcher and hitter. And he was really the last one that would dominate on both ends until Shohei Ohtani came around in 2018. But Shohei Ohtani did miss 2 seasons as a pitcher for due to Tommy. I think it's Tommy John surgery, but he did play. Not Tommy John, but injury. But he did actually play, bat in those years. So you have Thurman maybe run one more play, and then we'll have my quarterback come back. I know, I wanted to keep him out, but I'll actually bring him back in. At halftime, I want to check the stats. I mean, basketball and ice hockey, you can easily have people be good at offense and defense just because they play both at in the same game. But baseball, you rarely see people that can pitch and hit when they mean two-way players. And American in the NFL, you rarely see people that play offense and defense nowadays. I know Deion Sanders was mainly the last one to do it at a good level. And then, not Churchill Sanders, Travis Hunter will probably be an elite level. Like, they haven't players that have done both. And I can think of one player. I think it's Patrick Ricard who did, but he didn't like. It wasn't to the level that Deion Sanders did. And for Deion Sanders to actually do that and play baseball is impressive. I know Bo Jackson is another one that played at an elite level for football and baseball. I mean, No, that he went on record. I believe he went on record saying that he wouldn't allow his children to play football, and he wouldn't play football again had he known about CTE and brain damage caused by football. If he had known about it earlier, so that's understandable. If I had known about it at a young age, I don't think I would have played football. If I'd known about it those two seasons I played football, I wouldn't have played American football, and I definitely wouldn't have. Definitely, if I ever have kids, I wouldn't want them to play American football either. So, due to the Ethan, wouldn't want them to play rugby, Australian rules football, or do any sort of combat sport or American football, just due to the fact that they can easily get brain damage. I know pro wrestling is scripted and predetermined, but if you perform, there's still risk of an injury whenever you're performing moves in professional wrestling. It's what I compare to like stuntmen in movies. Those. Yes, there are ways to do moves properly, and stuntmen, there are ways to perform stunts and movies properly, but you are putting yourself at risk for an injury. Every time you actually every time those stuntmen do a stunt, or a pro wrestler does a move, they're putting themselves at risk for an injury, so. Granted, there are ways to prevent injury and prevent yourself from actually getting, especially head injuries. But, still, it's not really something you want. But anyone to go through, so. I know professional driving can, bull riding can as well. But at least with professional driving, it's, whenever you experience like a crash or something and you're going, especially NASCAR. Or Max, but. Really quick, let me check out the game stats. Four touchdowns, four interceptions, so. Five touchdowns, four interceptions, so. I know that, every injury is relative, it's well, there's always risk for an injury, but, everything is relative, as I butchered that kick there. Um, would you rather injure your arm throwing a baseball or throwing a football, or would you rather injure your brain? I personally would rather injure my arm because, for most injuries, your arms can heal. You can't really heal your brain the same way. But rugby and Australian rules football can be dangerous in terms of brain damage. Because with concussion, that I know concussions. If you sustain enough concussions, that can one concussion if it's severe enough, can change you mentally. But I know if you get enough of them, if you get hit enough times on the head, that'll change you due to the damage sustained. So It's not something, I don't know if science is trying to solve how to reverse brain damage, but hopefully someone's working on that, and hopefully we'll find a cure to reverse brain damage in the near future. When you hear like a lot of former NFL players hearing about former NFL players, and a lot of times they'll talk about the damage. As we fumble there, they'll talk about the damage they sustained playing American football, and should be talked about more in rugby as well, in Australian rules football. Dude, I know for soccer, like if you're really good at heading the ball, and there have been cases where soccer players have sustained CTE from, being very good at heading the ball, so. Although I don't think it'd be as common in soccer as it is like in American football and rugby and Australian rules football. I think really for Australian rules football and rugby, I don't think it's been as tested as much as NFL players in American football, but and combat sports, so it should be though. One Major League Baseball player has sadly been diagnosed with CTE. So thankfully, there have been rules implemented. I know in American football and baseball to reduce the risk factors of the injury concussion. So yeah, I'm gonna turn off my mic and my face cam now.
They'll go to work at the 28-yard line. Two tight end set. He's looking to pass. And he's tackled right around the 44-yard line. That's another great grab by this receiver.
And that catch gives this guy a cool 100 yards on the day. Man, Coach, this guy's playing well.
He does a great job of getting open. And as you know as a quarterback, Kirk, that when you have a receiver who's always getting open, that the quarterback will always be looking his way.
What's up, Lee?
Kids, check out this stat. This quarterback has thrown for over 400 yards in this football game. Come on. That's like 4 football fields.
They line up in an I. Fakes it, and the quarterback scrambles. He's out of bounds around the 37-yard line.
The defense is playing all right, but they still need to be concerned with these types of short to mid-range passes.
Brought down after a nice run up the middle. Benson gets it. Yards on the play. It's third down, and they're about the length of the football away from the first down marker. 3 down linemen and 2 linebackers on the field in this defense. Ross back to pass. It's caught. First down, and he's out of bounds.
That's just how they drew it up. When I talked to this coach earlier in the week, he thought he could take advantage of zone coverage by attacking the perimeter outside the hashes. That time, it was a corner route, and it got him the first down.
So their last red zone visit resulted in a touchdown. Let's see if the defense can hold them this time. Gets it to his wide receiver, and he's got another one. And did that play ever develop nicely?
Well, it's all about the receiver on this play. He beat his man off the line and then ran a perfect route. All he had to do after that was make the catch.
And he adds the extra point. Let's take a glance at the drive summary. James is ready to return, and he has looked very explosive on a couple of returns already in this game. Decent kick. Campbell fields it at the 7. Breaks away from one, and now he's got the corner. So let's see how the defense will hold up now as this offense comes out for their next drive. They'll get the ball here at the 27. They line it up with 3 receivers. He's tackled at the 41. A good play fake that time.
Here, the play action was key. It held the linebackers there by the fake by the running back, and the running back did a very nice job of carrying out his fake.
And the quarterback did a tremendous job of the fake handoff, too.
Johnson takes off in motion. And this one's broken up.
Boy, that was a good defensive effort there.
The ball was there, but the defender beat the receiver to it. Nice play.
2nd down and 10 to go. Ball on their own 41. The defense is in the nickel. Boyd goes with a play fake, and it's knocked away. Nice job getting a hand on that one.
Yeah, really good heads-up play there to get a hand on the football by the defense.
Single back set, 3 wide receivers. And it's knocked away. Johnson was the intended receiver on that pass. That's going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, they just couldn't connect on a pass there. That was a very good stand by this defense.
It's 4th down. The punt. Team is on the field looking to kick this one away. Banks fields it at the 22. Oh, he got tattooed on that one. Nothing too fancy there.
Yeah, I'll take those yards over dancing all over the place and getting nowhere any day.
The backfield's in an offset I formation. Drops back on first down. Complete, brought down, nothing doing.
Look here. These guys have to try to establish a running game. Then later they can start to pass it. They've got to let the big guys up front do their job and pave the way for the running back.
They thought they could sneak something by the defense here on first down, but it's not so.
Fakes to the back. And they bring him down for a sack on the play. Great penetration to get in there and sack the quarterback.
Yo, sweethearts, this kid has really impressed me today. He provides great pressure, and he really adds to this great pass rush.
You know, when this defense gets into a one-on-one situation with an offensive tackle, he usually wins. To effectively keep this guy bottled up, you've got to double-team him every single passing play.
So they pick up a huge run on third down.
That last play was a brilliant call, Kirk.
A good call, and you can see on that play that this offense is very well schooled. Everyone following their assignments.
Throws a strike over the middle. And a huge touchdown play. It still hasn't ended. Now that's a half-dozen touchdown passes for this young quarterback.
How much more can we ask this kid to do? He's led the offense down the field at will today.
It's hard to find an adjective to describe this performance. 6 touchdowns? Wow.
He kicks it off. Campbell fields at the goal line. He makes it to the 25-yard line. They were forced to punt the ball away the last time they had it. They'll be looking for a little more out of their offense on this possession. Boyd lines up under center. He has 2 tight ends. Straight in the middle, and he meets the defense. James picks up 2 yards with the carry. Single back set, 3 wide receivers. Pressure got to him, and he put it on the ground. They lose 4 there. 3rd and 12 coming up on this one. Ball on the 23. They line up with 1 running back in the backfield. 3 wide. Drops back to pass. And he's sacked. Pretty impressive pass rush right there.
Welcome to college football, kid.
Carter to punt. He makes it to the 38-yard line. The offense now will take the field, and they hope to have the same success they had on their last drive. I formation here. And he's tackled around the 29-yard line. So they pick up quite a few yards on that play, Kirk.
Well, that was an excellent route, and he did a great job of holding on to the football.
Oklahoma State with a big advantage. And he's tackled after positive yardage. Decent gain there on the play by the running back, and that's enough for the first.
Great effort on that little scamper. He came away with about 5 yards.
The backfield's in an offset I formation. Here's the halfback. And they get nice yardage on that run. Benson gains about 5 yards on the run. It's 2nd down, 6 yards to go. There are 4 wide receivers split out. The quarterback in the gun. Looking to throw. Nice play across the middle. And again, he hooks up with his favorite target for the touchdown.
Just look at the chemistry between the quarterback and receiver. That's the 2nd time they've connected for a touchdown today.
And he adds the extra point. And here's our drive summary. Oklahoma State ready to kick this one off. Decent kick. Campbell takes it at the 16. Gets to about the 34-yard line. And now we'll see the offense come out onto the field for their next possession. They line this one up in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers split out in the formation. And they got him.
I'll tell you what, this defender is really putting some serious heat on that quarterback.
Yes, he is, Kirk, and he just recorded his 3rd sack of the game. Wow.
And this freshman quarterback is learning very quickly who to watch out for.
Even though he knows it's coming, he still can't get away, Kirk.
Caught, open field. At the 40. And he's tackled at the 33-yard line. Now it's 1st and 10 with the defense trying to regroup after giving up the big pass. He tackles him for a loss. Well, folks, we just saw what can happen if you don't pick up all your blocks.
Man, that was an ugly nightmare from the beginning.
Single back set, 3 wide receivers. Looking to throw. They'll make the sack. They couldn't get him blocked up that time.
And something tells me they won't be able to get him blocked up the next time either. This kid is a force out there.
We'll probably be hearing his name for some time to come because he's only in his 1st year on the field.
Boyd drops to throw. Great interception, and that just adds to the offense's woes today.
These mistakes just continue to add up. I mean, this offense can't even salvage a moral victory at this point.
Some days you just don't have it. And today is certainly one of those days. That was just flat out bad.
It's 2nd down and 6 to go. Ball on the 33. They come out in a nickel. Throws to the tight end, and that falls incomplete. That was a dangerous throw.
No, not a very good decision. He's got to either throw this one away or take a sack. You don't want to go back to the sideline and have a discussion with the old ball coach if that had been an interception.
Back to pass. He ignores the footsteps and makes the catch. The defense didn't stop the pass, but they stopped him short of the sticks.
And that's the important thing here. Allow him to make the catch, but make sure you tackle him before he gets to the 1st down marker.
This defense will give the quarterback those underneath routes all day long if it can prevent them from getting a 1st down.
First down, 10 to go. Ball on the 42-yard line. 4 wide. Run the middle and nothing there. So the halfback gets only 2 on the draw play. They'll work from the shotgun. He's on the run. On the run, gets it to his man. He goes down at the 17-yard line. Nice catch by the receiver.
And that reception put him over the century mark for the day. And you want to know something, Kirk?
What's that?
This receiver is the real deal. He's a great playmaker.
Got it, but he's going to lose yards here. That'll be a 2-yard loss.
Great play by the defense. They were just sitting there waiting on the pass.
Tosses left, intercepted. Nice interception. Too bad they weren't playing like this to start the day.
Yeah, their defense took a little too long to get into this football game.
But don't give up on them, you guys. Not yet. They're still playing football out there.
Offset eye formation in the backfield. They bring him down. How do you defend a guy like this?
Simple. You don't. He's such a dominating force on the football field. That was his 4th sack in this game alone.
When things are going right, they are going right. This guy's career day has really helped his team just control the game all day long.
He's to the 40. He makes it out to maybe the 46-yard line. An interception cut this offense last drive short. So I think they're going to be looking for a little more success right here.
You know, that was a great drive they had going that last time, too.
Yeah, but one play turned it around. It may have been a great drive, Kirk, but let me tell you something. It was a better interception.
Defensive line is in tight. 3 wide receivers on the field. The quarterback in the shotgun. And he's immediately tackled. What a throw and catch, guys.
I'll tell you what, this young kid has a real gun for an arm. He sizes up the play well and then gets the ball out of there.
On the ground with the tailback. And he carries the ball for a nice gain. Benson gains around 6 yards on the run. From the 24-yard line, 2nd down. There are 3 wide receivers split out. The quarterback in the gun. He's looking to pass. He's got the corner. Out of bounds at the 21. Banks gains around 3 yards on the scramble. From the 21-yard line, it's 3rd down. Oklahoma State in control. And he's taken down right around the 18-yard line. That'll be enough to move the chains.
You know, you can just look at the offensive line and see the surge, and that running back did a good job of reading the blocks to pick up the 1st down.
Oh, yeah, Kirk, the big uglies are getting it down up front, aren't they?
He drops back. He gets sacked on the play.
And Kirk, that's sack number 2 for this kid.
He is really locked into this quarterback right now. Excellent sack right there.
He's going to try and scramble. He's got to throw it in a hurry. And now he's going to run. Excellent open field tackle. He made a real nice play on that one.
I'll tell you what, in today's game, you have to have the ability to run the football. Give the quarterback a lot of credit. He made a great play and really gave his team a boost.
And he has it on the corner. They get on the board again. Touchdown. No one could break clear, so the QB decided to run it in.
You've got to like it when your leader takes things into his own hands, especially down inside the 10.
And now we take a look at the drive summary. Smart for these guys to kick away from that dangerous return man. Decent kick. He's to the 10. He makes it out maybe to the 26-yard line. And now the offense makes its way onto the field.
And here's hoping that this time their drive goes forward, not backwards.
Strings it out left, and he stopped right away. Pickup of a yard for the tailback. Boyd comes to the line under center. High formation behind him. Again, he'll get the call. Lost the ball. Fumble. Not much hope now. That fumble was not what they needed.
They're already losing big. Let's just hope they don't throw the towel in altogether.
Drops back on 1st down. He's under pressure. Room around the corner. He can run. And he's pushed out of bounds, setting up a 1st and goal. He had a whole lot of room to run on that one.
When the pressure's coming from the inside and the quarterback can escape the pocket, it usually means he's going to have some room to run.
He rolls out to the left. Keeps it, and he's got a touchdown. So they call a pass, but he decided to tuck it in and run.
And it was a good decision.
I agree with you, Coach. He didn't want to throw into coverage and risk the interception down so close to the goal line.
But here's the drive summary to recap what just happened. James is deep to receive, and look out, folks. He's looking to run another one back for 6. He kicks it off. He's to the 10. They'll bring him down at the 31. So the offense comes out after their last drive, had the ball end up in the defense's hands by way of a fumble. Takes the handoff inside and stopped immediately. Nothing doing on the halfback draw. They line up in a double tight set. They go to the back, and he's hit immediately in the backfield.
The safety made the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. I recommend to the offensive coordinator a little play action and throw the fade route where the safety used to be.
That's right, Lee. These guys are shooting up there when they see run, and it only takes one time to catch them out of position and take it to the house.
He's looking to pass, and it's caught, and he's brought down quickly. Nice gain, but not enough for the first down.
Yeah, that's a nice play there. They did everything right except get enough yards for the first down.
Banks fields at the 31, brought down at the 35-yard line. The offense ready for the first play of this drive. They moved the ball extremely well on their last possession on their way to the end zone.
I expect to see some good clock management right here.
Yep, Coach. They've already warmed up the buses for the end of this game.
Whoa, nice play. They drew up the post route and dissected the zone coverage for a first down.
Nickel defense. Now he's scrambling. Throws out on the run. His receiver's got it. Touchdown, OSU. And there's another touchdown pass. Fellas, when is this shellacking going to end?
Thank goodness this game is finally almost over, because I don't know how much longer I can take this.
You? How about that defense? They've been getting beat up left and right. Half of that team is going to be in the training room after this game.
James is back ready to receive, and boy, has he been the game breaker on special teams today. Keller makes it the 36, gets to about the 44-yard line. Time once again for this offense to come back out and start another drive. He's out of bounds at midfield. So they execute and move a little closer to the sticks.
Yeah, completing those short passes is the key, because it lulls the defense to sleep a little bit. Then you can launch one big one downfield for a big gain.
Boyd drops to throw. Batted away.
Hey, that's a heads-up play there by the defender. Get those hands up and something good may just happen.
Boyd comes to the line under center. High formation behind him. Boyd back to pass. He goes out of bounds at the 46-yard line.
There's nothing better for a defense's mindset than to get a 3-and-out. I mean, a turnover, of course, is a positive play, and a coach will take that any day of the week. But to know you've stopped the best their offense has to offer for 3 straight plays, that's a confidence builder.
Taking the field again now is the offense, and I got to tell you, these guys have just been a defensive nightmare on the past few drives. Straight in the middle, and he meets the defense. A couple, maybe 3 yards on that run.
That's the senior safety that made that tackle. Great job of providing run support from the secondary.
Ace backfield. Back to pass. Throws, and he's right there to knock it away.
That linebacker showed good awareness there.
This guy can do it all, Kurt. I'd take him on my team any day.
Single back set, 3 wide receivers. Throws complete, he's got space to work. So, guys, he found his tight end for the first down.
Yeah, this is a great way to utilize the tight end in the passing game.
You know, Kirk, back when I coached, the tight ends didn't do much but block.
It's amazing how much the game has evolved, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Tackle at the 39-yard line. It's 2nd and 3. Ball on their own 39. Single set backfield. And they got it.
Kind of looked like he hesitated a little bit too much here.
You're right, Kurt. The protection was good, but they're not going to hold him out there forever.
Play fake, looking to run. He's tackled at the 41. Gutsy play to try to run for the first. They're just short.
Well, they had a long way to go and figured the defense would be playing pass. So why not try to pull one over them?
Booming kick. And they'll down it at the 4-yard line.
Man. Sure was a great punt, Kurt.
Yeah, Coach, it really makes things difficult when you have to start this deep in your own territory.
Run left side. At the 30. At the 40. Across midfield. Here's an opening. To the 20. To the 10. Well, they're not going to win it, but they're still playing hard out there. It's the halfback again. Fellas, what can you say about this young halfback?
We don't have to say anything, Brad. His stats speak for themselves. He has 4 touchdowns on the ground today.
Yep. Ask the defense what they think about this kid. They haven't had an answer to this running attack yet. He's played very, very well all day.
Dixon takes it at the 21. And he makes it out to about the 41-yard line. Their last drive resulted in a punt, so let's see if they can put together something a little more promising here. Oklahoma State up by a bunch. They'll throw on first down. And he's tackled at about the 41.
How about that play?
Well, it was a good pass, a good catch, and they are keeping the defense off balance by throwing on first down.
Absolutely right.
I formation here. And they make the stop right around the 38-yard line. Just about 3 yards there. Second and 7 coming up here. Ball on the 38-yard line. The backfield's in an offset I formation. Drops back to pass. Fires incomplete. He was looking for the tight end.
Coach, it looked like he was trying to put the pass where either his receiver could make the catch or no one would.
Yep, usually that's a smart play and sometimes the only option.
He drops back. Brought down at the 31-yard line.
I like it. I like it.
Well, on third down, we expected them to go to the air, and they did just that, picking up the first down.
That's right, sweetheart.
Catches it.
Man, that is a great call and a big gain, especially on an early down.
Banks is in the gun. He has 4 receivers. And they get the sack. This kid just doesn't stop. That's his 2nd sack of the game.
Great pressure on the quarterback. And this kid just has a nose for getting to that football.
This defensive end has provided a very efficient pass rush. One of the keys to this game was for him to get to the quarterback, and he has really done that today.
Banks is walking off the field now, and the trainers are going to have a close look at him. Backup quarterback into the game now to call the signals. Back to pass. Throws it, and oh, he dropped it. So it's 4th down, and the field goal unit is out there to try this 34-yarder. And he's got it. So we take a moment here. Let's check out the drive summary. Hay has his kick team lined up, and he is set to kick this one off. And this is just a booming kick. Taken down at the 33-yard line. These guys came up with a touchdown on their last drive, and they'll be hoping for another 6 on the board here.
This defense needs to use some run blitzes and win some battles over the offensive line. Otherwise, these guys will run on them all day long.
And they're using power football, and it's working. I don't think we'll see much of a change on the offensive side of the ball.
Boyd is under center. 5-wide formation. Boyd drops back. And they bring him down for a sack on the play. Another sack.
I would try to avoid that sack master kid if at all possible. Maybe call some rollout plays to allow the quarterback more time to throw the football.
He's just giving this poor freshman quarterback fits. Great performance so far today. You know, Coach, the tight end is such a valuable weapon in the passing game.
These days, they don't even recruit you if you don't have good hands at tight end. If you can't catch the ball, then they move you over to tackle.
But this guy does have good size and good hands.
And he just got them a first down.
He almost had it, but it's incomplete. It was the safety that almost came up with a big play.
Not a very good read here by the quarterback.
Kirk, I don't think he even saw the safety. But this offense is lucky that he couldn't hang on to the football.
And he's tackled at about the 47-yard line. 2-yard pickup. Boyd lines up in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers. Gets it out to the wideout, and he's got the first.
The quarterback did an excellent job of recognizing the Mike linebacker on the blitz. He hung in there, delivered the pass, and his receiver made a good catch to move the sticks.
Straight run, nothing going on there. James only gets about a yard there on the draw.
This safety is something special, Coach.
Yeah, great-looking player who gets better and better every game.
They throw a flag. I don't really know what this one's for. Let's find out.
These are the calls that drive a coach crazy. Senseless penalties can sometimes be the difference between winning and losing the game.
Boyd lines up under center. Single set backfield. Drops back to pass. And they make the stop at the 30-yard line. They pick up good yardage that time on the pass play.
Here they kind of put pressure on the quarterback and challenged him to find the hole in the defense. And in this case, he did. Nice job.
Way to look it in.
These guys are marching down the field, Kirk. I think this defense is getting tired.
I think you're right. They look a little fatigued. But when you continue to give up first downs on third down, not doing a lot for your confidence.
I'll tell you something. They need to take the intensity that is working on first and second downs and save some for third down because they're just getting outworked.
Boyd is under center. He has 3 receivers. And they'll run him again. Huge play, and it's going to be first and goal. We're at the 12th play of the drive. And a new halfback checks into the game. And down he goes, just outside the goal line. The running back gets a yard, maybe less. Offset I formation in the backfield. I'm pretty sure they won't win it, but they haven't quit yet. And the halfback took it in for the score.
Yep, he punched that in from a short distance. He had great blocking up front on that play.
He splits the uprights with the extra point. That score leads us to our drive summary. The kicker looks like he's ready to kick this one off. He kicks it off. He's to the 20. He makes it to the 32-yard line. 3 points was the result of their last drive as the offense heads out for another.
And that was really quite a drive they put together on their last time out, Coach.
Yeah, that ball went coast to coast. Let's see if the offense can continue to look good this time out.
He's tackled at the 40. That's yet another great catch by this wide receiver.
And it's good enough to put him over 100 yards for the day as well.
You got to love this quarterback-receiver combo. Talking to these guys before the game, they told me they spend about an hour after every practice perfecting the routes. It sure shows.
It's third down, and they're about 2 yards shy of the sticks. Backfield in an offset I formation. Tackle at the 42-yard line.
That's the big guy getting the first down.
Nothing fancy here. He just stuck his head down, rumbled ahead, and got him a first down.
Wilson is under center. I formation. Throws complete, and he's hit hard behind the line. That's a 2-yard loss.
They really just didn't have any room to work on that play. The defense just suffocated them there.
Throws out to the running back, no good. Third down, and they need to get it inside the 48. Going with the shotgun here.
He's just lucky that he got that pass away.
The offensive line didn't protect the quarterback very well. The pressure was there in no time.
Looks like they're going to go for it on fourth down. 6 DBs on the field for the defense. Throws in the middle, and they make the stop around the 41-yard line.
You talk about a huge stop for the defense. Now let's see if they can capitalize on the offensive end.
Brought down right around the 38-yard line. Just about 3 yards there.
It came with a good blitz from the edge here and disrupted the blocking scheme of this run.
Yeah, Kirk, the blockers weren't able to hold their blocks long enough for the back to get free. Good stop there.
2 tight end set. Makes the grab past the marker. And he scores! Touchdown! Nicely designed play to the wide receiver, and it got him 6.
You said it, Brad, and a good time to call it. I tip my hat to the offensive coordinator.
There must have been some defensive confusion on this play because there's no reason that this guy should be that wide open when he caught the football.
The defense calls a timeout. Here goes. He's tackled at the 36-yard line. Well, that'll end all hopes of a miracle.
You can say that again. This one is pretty much done.
Wilson is in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers. Pulls it in and stopped in his tracks with that tackle. And the completion nets some very little yardage. Coach, what's up with that play?
I'll tell you, those defenders crashed in and got him in a hurry. No chance to get anything there.
Throws it out right to the running back. Benson gained 7 yards with a catch there.
And how about the poise of this quarterback to locate his receiver past the sticks and get him the ball? That was a great throw.
They come out with 4 wide out. Now he's scrambling. He heaves it to the end zone. And this will be caught. Touchdown.
That's a pretty big play, but the guys on the losing end of it need to keep their heads up and focus on making a stop during their next drive.
And now we're going to take a look at the drive summary. Hay is lined up to kick this one off. He sends this one deep. At the 30. And he's tackled at the 35. He got the team pumped up with that return, Lee.
Oh, boy, he sure did. And that's the perfect, beautiful thing about special teams, my friend. It's beautiful.
Straight run, nothing going on there. Picked up a yard of anything on that run.
He took a shot on that play.
He better check and make sure all of his limbs are still attached.
They motion to the left. He drops back.
Yo, you can credit that incompletion to the pass rush. Great job of not letting the quarterback get comfortable back there.
He didn't throw a good pass at all.
All that, Kirk. He was under pressure. Unbelievable pressure.
Swatted away. 3 plays and no first down, and now it's decision time for this offense.
Well, the defense did what they had to do so far. They're showing a lot of heart out there.
Thomas fields it at the 26, and he didn't get anything on that return.
Well, the coverage team did an outstanding job at containing here. You always see this with this team. They're very disciplined on special teams.
Runs it left for a decent gain. There's an injured player, and we'll try to find out who it is. From their own 34-yard line, it's second down. From the gun. Taken down in the backfield. The game is well in hand, but they're still going without a huddle. The defense lines up with 5 defensive backs. Tackle made around the 31-yard line. The running back gets 2 on the carry. Nickel defense. Benson gets the call. And they make the stop at the 46. So they run it on 4th down, and they pick up the first.
Boy, big play there, Brad. You know, a lot of times on 4th down, you'll see the ball carrier panic, but not this guy. This is a good job of showing patience and letting the run develop.
Takes a handoff inside and stopped immediately. The running back gets a yard, maybe less.
He just went right through him.
Man, who was supposed to block that guy?
I don't think it matters, Kirk. He's playing with reckless abandon out there. It's got to be hard to block a guy that hits like that.
Handoff, and he's met immediately. And the halfback's got nowhere to go.
And at that time, it was the junior linebacker that got him. He wasn't letting the ball carrier get upfield.
Runs it, and oh, he's level. And he didn't get enough for the first.
Now, Brad, he's going to come up short here. The defense does a nice job of not allowing the ball carrier to get out into the open.
He punts it away, and it's a great kick. This one's going to be down in the end zone for a touchback. The defense really stepped up to force that 3 and out on the last drive. Single set backfield. Room around the corner. Tackle at the 31-yard line. That was a pretty good run.
Incredible effort there, running the football by this guy.
Offset eye formation in the backfield. Back to pass. Gets it off as he's hit. Complete. Got an opening. And he's taken down at about the 45.
Nice throw. Great read by the quarterback and an even better route. If you run a corner route like that against man coverage, it makes it tough on the defense. Keep the sticks moving, sweetheart.
Hammond again. He gets out to about the 37-yard line. A gain of 8 on the carry. The defense is changing their play. Run the middle and nothing there. Hammond comes away with 2 yards on the carry.
Hey, Kirk, it looks like this kid just spent the night out on the town.
Well, he took a big hit there, Coach. I don't think he's got his equilibrium back yet.
And they get him in the backfield for a loss. From the 30-yard line, first down. Single set backfield. Straight ahead on the give. There's nowhere to run, though. So the halfback gets only 2 on the draw play. Offset I formation in the backfield. Tackle made at the 21-yard line.
Not that impressive of a play. Let's see if they continue to employ the short passing game or if they decide to run the ball.
Good coverage by the cornerback to make a sure tackle after the reception.
They go with a run, and he's going to be stopped short. And that won't be enough for the first down.
Great job here by the defense in shutting down the run. That's a real boost for this team.
And they sack him on 4th down. They turn the ball over after going for it on 4th down.
Yeah, but they still made the right call. At this stage in the game, they'll try anything to get back in it.
The offense just wasn't able to make a play. The defense was really clutch right there. And he gets a yard on the run. It's 2nd and 9. Ball on the 34. And that should do it. Our final tally in this one. Oklahoma State 122, USC 69. As we take a look at the play of the game, Kirk, your final thoughts on this one.
Well, I really expected this to be a closer game. USC got absolutely crushed today in this football game. I hope they can put this one past them because sometimes it's difficult for a program to bounce back after an embarrassment.